Hey everybody, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World. I got a package from Vevor here. Oops. Pretty nice size package. And the timing of it can't be better. Because I already know what's in there. Alright, we got here some little stuff I'm going to pull out of the side so I can get this open. What we have here is something really cool. I like it's got handles on it. This looks cool. This is a diesel heater with remote control. How cool is that? There's on, off, and plus and minus. There's a digital display on here. And more than that, I've got to check the instructions because I don't know anything else. I have to check. There's some cool features of this, but I got to confirm which version I got first. Okay, the box was just stuck in there, and there's some accessories. And I'm also checking out because you can remove the side here. One thing I like about this is it is 12 volt off grid. Okay, I thought that's what we had here. Here we have some flex pipe, some exhaust pieces, and a lot of fittings and attachments. So this is designed to vent to the outdoors and exhaust out. It is an indoor heater. Can be used for RVs, camping. Okay, there's some more attachments. In home, I believe. Garages, sheds. 8 kilowatt diesel heater. 8,000 watts. And that comes off. Interesting. That just pops off so easily. Gas can. I guess there's no need for me to do that at this time, but it's pretty cool that you can pop that off so easily. Now, this is supposed to run up to 8 hours on a single gallon of fuel. How awesome is that? That is mega efficient. Now on the back side, we have a power connection here. There's a fuse, and we've got a plus and minus. It says here 12 volts, 15 amps. So that's for the electronics and the blower and probably the starter. It says here rating 12 volts at 40 watts. Heating power 8 kilowatts. Really, really going to be awesome here on the homestead this winter with us. So I have the Vevor diesel heater hooked up here in the greenhouse, and it took me a while. I've had this a while, and it took me most of that time. One, the weather was weirdly warm, and so we didn't need it at night. And two, I had to figure out a way to install this because it has to be exhausted to the outside. Let me take you around to the other side of this and show you what issue I had, and also how to power it. That was the key, but I'll show you a solution, which is really cool. Now, the exhaust and the intake hang out the bottom, which presented me with a problem. I couldn't just set the stove down or the heater down on a flat surface. I had to have it raised. So what I did is I put 3 layers of 2x4s under the front and the back to give me the space I needed to get the exhaust out. Then I drilled a large enough hole through the greenhouse wall near the bottom and stuffed it with some sort of It's some sort of insulation that's made for furnaces, for smelting furnaces. So this is a really high temperature, like 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So there's no way on earth that's ever going to be affected by this. And then I put aluminum shielding. I folded it up multiple thick layers and stuffed that in there to stop. The hose wanted to push up, and so I used the aluminum folded round and round and round as a heat shield and to stop that from pushing up, because it really wanted to push up. This hose is very hard to bend and very hard to work with, so keep that in mind. And then that insulation there. And here also, just as an extra safety precaution, I put a piece of heat shielding in here, and I've checked it repeatedly for temperature, and there's no hot spots anywhere in this area. That shielding there is doing a beautiful job of keeping that hose from ever coming near. It is stiff, so it doesn't want to touch there, but just in case, I insulated it heavily. The intake I've propped up over here. I'm probably going to put a nail to stop it from wanting to fall off, because it tends to want to work its way down, and I want to keep that in the air off the dirt. Now, I'll tell you some features about this that I love. First, because it's here in the greenhouse, I should also mention I put it down a pallet to keep it off the dirt. I don't want this in the dirt. There's no plants on this side, so it won't have any water splashing over here either. So it's 10 inches off the ground, I think. And then the heater line is held up for now, propped up here. And it's not giving me any trouble in a few weeks' time that I've used it here. Not a problem at all. Now, what I like is the fuel level is clearly visible. I'm using red diesel. It's red dyed diesel. And that is, here in Michigan anyway, sold as home heating fuel. And it's a lot cheaper. Last time I paid $3.69. And the normal diesel was $4.19 or $4.29. So you save a little bit on buying the red diesel. And as you'll see, this helps us a lot. It really saves us here in this greenhouse and allows us to do things we were not able to do even in summer. About priming, it wasn't an issue for me. I've seen video reviews and product reviews talking about priming this, how you have to do some weird combination on the front to get it to go. I couldn't figure it out. So you know what I did? I turned it on. And it primed itself and it ran. And every time it ever runs out of fuel, I just refill it, turn it on, it primes itself and it runs. I never had to prime it. So manual priming I didn't figure out, and I never had to. It works perfect. No problem for me at all. Filling it is really easy. I'm not going to touch the funnel for now, but I just take off the cap, I put a funnel in top, pour the diesel in carefully, cap it when done. Easier done without when you're not trying to pay attention to a camera. Alright, always fill it up to where it's just below the top line there, and then you know you're not going to overfill it. Operating this is incredibly easy. Once you figure it out, I just hit the middle button, and literally I come out here at night and I just go pop and I leave it. It says it's 33.8 degrees here right now, but I know that it's not, because it was 30 some odd degrees outside, and this thermometer doesn't seem to be exactly right. It always shows lower. I don't know if it's because it's down here. I don't know if the temperature sensor, maybe it's feeling, it is a little bit cold radiating from the wall, but this works to my advantage. Oddly, once this heats up, this is showing about this is showing 67 to 72 degrees, when the actual temperature in the greenhouse up higher, in the air out farther away, is around 56 to 60 degrees. I think that while it's running, being in a closed area, I'm thinking that the exhaust is affecting the thermostat. So keep that in mind. Not a problem though, because it is programmable. You can set your high and low temperature ranges, which is great. So I was able to balance off the fact that I believe it is affected by the exhaust with the thermostat setting it where I wanted it, and it works perfect for my needs. I've never had a problem. It just started pumping. Pump, 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 pump. Before it kicks on, let me show you a very cool idea. This took me some time to work out because this requires up to 15 amps to run. Well, I didn't have a 15 amp power supply. I read that some people had issues with batteries, off-grid work. So I took a computer power supply and a breakout board. I'll give you a link down below where you can buy a cheap little $10 or $12 breakout board. I don't remember what I paid. I'll see when I look it up. This is just called a breakout board. And what do? You take a computer power supply. A lot of people have computers laying around and can find a power supply laying around somewhere. And you simply plug the power supply wire into the breakout board. That's it. That's all you got to do. Plug the power of the power supply into an extension cord or an outlet, and put your 12 volt positive and negative lines right here, which says 12 volt plus and ground, and you've got power to the device. And I've ran this for a few weeks like this, no problems. I never shut off the power supply. It doesn't draw anything on standby hardly, and this is always ready to go. I pop out here, I hit the start button, and it fires up and runs. When I want to shut it off, I hit the center button, and it shuts itself down. It goes through the shutdown process. This is an absolutely perfectly stable system right here. If you don't have a 12 volt, 15 amp power supply or a battery that can handle it all, this will run forever like this, as long as the computer power supply will run. And it's not overloading it. The old computers, the old ones, should have sufficient power to run this. Now it's starting to fire up. You can see it's starting to get a higher temperature, probably from its own exhaust pipe. Again, I've got that offset, so it's not an issue because you can program this as you need. I do have some heat, but it's not really hot. It's starting to fire up more and more, and you'll hear it kick in. Once it really kicks in, then you'll get some serious heat coming in here. And then I'll show you how great this is and the advantages. I have tomatoes in December in Michigan. I have tomatoes growing in mid-December in Michigan. Look here, there's more. There's little baby tomatoes. Now, those of you who watch my channel know I can't grow tomatoes here for anything. I can never grow tomatoes in this place. It doesn't work, not summer, not winter. This heater is allowing us to do something we've never been able to do before. Let me show you here. I had an aphid infestation, so sadly I lost half my plant. Here I've got some chilies. One is dying, there's one coming. I'm still fighting aphids. They love it here too. I've got some lemongrass. I've got a plant, I don't know, it's probably sleeping, I don't know about that. I've got, I don't know, oh yeah, another chili. I've got some cilantro or what do you call it? I'm not sure, I can't confuse it. Parsley. I have an olive tree growing in my greenhouse. It's alive, an olive tree. You can't do that in December in Michigan. I have an eggplant here. Also struggled due to an aphid infestation. I got to hit it again with some dish soap and water. I have a lemon verbena, which is hard to grow, and another chili over here, which is struggling due to aphids. I've got herbs galore, all kinds of herbs. That one got killed by the aphids, but not by the weather. I have flowers, all right? They're alive. I'll show you some more that are flowering. Here I have sage, alive and growing. Sage is a sensitive plant here. Here I have rosemary, a very sensitive plant. It's alive and growing. Here I have lemon thyme, also sensitive. It's alive and growing. Here I have an Asian lemongrass. It's alive. Here is my favorite of all. This is unbelievable in December in Michigan. So now it's kicking in a lot better. Oh yeah, there's some nice heat. Really, really nice heat pumping out of here. And that's it. I'll let this run and it'll keep us going through the cold night. Now, since this is just a demonstration, for now, it's not night yet. Hit it again. It says stop heating. I don't know if you heard that. It actually speaks. It says start heating, stop heating. And now it's going to start winding down. It's going to cool off the burner. It'll blow some air. And it's pretty hot yet. But it'll continue blowing air until that's done and cooled off. And then everything will shut off. All nice and automatic for you. Now, as the book says, this thing uses I'd say up to a tank in an 8-hour period. I've had times where I've gone quite a bit longer. And before tonight, I'm going to fill that back up. I left it low so you could see the fuel level in here for this demonstration. But I find that we use just under a tank of fuel in an 8-hour period. And that is acceptable. So considering the price of vegetables and groceries right now, we can, for just a few dollars a day, keep our greenhouse going and maintain fresh herbs and vegetables in the middle of December when there's snow and ice on the ground. That is amazing. The heater has saved our greenhouse. That's the temperature outdoors, 12 degrees. And that's the temperature in the greenhouse, 41 degrees. Without the heater, we would have lost everything out there this night. That is just way too cold for our greenhouse right now. And with that, we're still growing food. That heater has saved our greenhouse. It is on the left 4 degrees outside, and on the right 40 degrees in the greenhouse. That has absolutely saved us. That's a huge difference. So there you go, guys. I love this so much. Honestly, I'm going to get one for the garage, and that way I can work in my wood shop. When I was online, they were $100 for a heater that is mega efficient. I mean, I didn't believe the reviews. I didn't believe what I read until I've been using it. And I put things to a real field test. I've been using this for a few weeks every night, and it is really saved us. So please like this video. Check it out, guys. Get yourself one. I'm probably going to have 3 by the time I'm done. They're really amazing. Really incredible.